I'm Sean Reynolds from Summer Properties Northwest and Reynolds & Klein Appraisal. And today I have with me Mr. Dan Chapman from Fairway Independent Mortgage. And Dan, we're going to do kind of an in-person video, but also a lot of the stuff you're going to be working on is on the computer. And it's how real estate brokers or anybody in business can get more business using Google reviews and Google My Business. So let's get into it.
All right, well, Google My Business, if anybody has a Google Plus account, whether it's a personal Google Plus, a Gmail, email, it's really easy to set up. The Google Plus will link to it right away. But number one thing is like Google, right? Nobody denies they're the number one search engine in the world. They have been for years. If you want to get your word out there about what you do, real estate, you're a real estate broker in Bellevue, real estate broker Seattle, mortgage lender, Kirkland, whatever it is, you should be on Google and get some reviews, because customers are gonna not only validate you, but they can find you that way. So obviously I do Yelp, and I've been doing that for a while, but I also wanted to get some reviews on Google. There's some things about Google that Yelp doesn't do, which is what I liked. So they kind of bounce off each other, but they're both a little different. So
So people will find you there, and then also people that have already gotten a hold of your name from somewhere else will do a quick Google search.
Yeah, just to see, hey, how's this guy ranked?
To kind of validate where you are and what your business looks like.
Right.
And we've shot a video on using Yelp reviews to get more business. And so this is kind of another avenue of something you can do online that for the most part is for free.
Right, it is.
Yep, and so this is kind of how you do it.
Yep. So, it's free to use. You don't have to pay. You don't have to advertise on there. They of course, offer advertising for ads, but you don't have to do that. The one thing I like about Google is when somebody posts a review, it's not going to go away. Whereas Yelp, right, it only shows and they only recommend about 70%, 65 to 70% of the reviews. So if you get 100 reviews on Yelp, you might only have 65 to 70 of those actually showing.
Right, they filter those out.
Yeah, they filter them out. Google doesn't do that, so Google, they're going to show up on there. So
whether they're good or bad.
Yeah. Hopefully they're good. Yeah, exactly. So Google's big. It links to Zillow. It links to Yelp. So when you do a search for a mortgage lender or whatever, my Google reviews would come up, and then it'll say Yelp top 10 mortgage lenders, Yelp top 10 real estate agents, and then of course Zillow's underneath there too. So. If you have reviews on Zillow and Yelp and you want to open a Google, you could start afresh from new clients and get them to do Google, or you can ask past clients and say, hey, is there any chance, you can give me a review on Google? We did a transaction 6 months ago or a year ago, whatever it is. Just try to get some
because every
reviews.
review helps. It all kind of builds your online presence.
Yep. So we'll go into how to open a Google My Business account if you don't have one. It's pretty simple. All you do is you go to Google My Business and Google that, and this page will come up right here. You'll go, I don't think I'm signed in right now, so let's go Start Now. You see where it says Start Now right there. And then you'll put in your business name. Then you'll hit Next. So if you were to put in Summit Properties, there's Summit Properties right there. So you could use a different address. So if you're a Summit Properties broker and you want to use your home address, now Google is going to verify that that's a legal address. So they will verify it by emailing you or sending you a postcard or sending you a phone and a link.
That's right. So you've got to verify that to exist as kind of a business entity, even as an individual broker.
Right. But you can use, there's other Fairway loan officers in Kirkland that have a Google My Business besides me, just like Yelp. So you can use the same address for somebody else. So you could use this address here.
So use the office address.
Yeah, and then you're going to put whatever you want to call it. So this listing's been claimed, but you could call it, you could put the person's name next to it. You can put Summit Properties Northwest and then put somebody's name.
Make it distinct.
Yeah, make it distinct. So once you go into that, it's just going to have you fill out the basic information, and it'll look like this right here. This is what it looks like once you get there and you filled out your name, business name, your address, your business category. So mine's mortgage lender. If you're a real estate agent, it'd be real estate agent. And then once you do the business category, Google's going to verify you, and that process, if you don't do the postcard, should happen pretty quickly by the email or the text with the verification code. And once you've done that, you're up and running. And so this is what it looks like when you're up and running as far as the interface. And so you've got the home here, you've got posts. Now this is where it's very different. Google's very different than Yelp. Yelp, you're not posting an article. So you're not going to get people finding you because they search like first-time home buyer or whatever. So whereas Google, you can go in there and you can post. You can see my post right here. Here's a recent post I did. It's about real estate sales for the month of May in King County. Not a ton of views on this one. Looks like about 18 views. Here's another post right here. I posted a Google review. And this one right here is 32 views. It'll show you how many views you got. You can go down, and these are all past posts. There's a market update post, 32 views. I got one click on this one. So you can post things. So if you want to do a new post, all you do is right there, right post. So you go in there, pop that up. It asks for a photo, but you don't have to put a photo. It just does that because you can make it stand out. And then this is where you could post it and put hashtags in there. And then once you do that, you can put a link to...
So how often do you post in Google My Business?
Google My
then?
Business will remind you. It'll send you an email. Hey, your post is going to expire.
Okay.
So that's when I post something, usually about once a week.
Once a week,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And you put the same content you put in there, kind of content that you would put on like your Facebook
Yeah.
business page.
Right. I might
Okay.
throw a few more hashtags in here,
Okay.
to get more keyword content, SEO content.
Okay.
And then I'll put a link to my website, but I could link it like to my Yelp if I'm posting a Yelp review or a Seattle Times article on real estate or a realtor.com article, I can link it to that. But most of the time I'll link it to my website.
Okay.
And so you're just going in here, you're putting the picture, you're writing the post, and then down here optional buttons would be like learn more, get offer. I just do learn more, and I link it to my website.
So people can click on that learn more button, sends you in kind of the funnel structure to your business page.
Yeah, it gets people to my website,
Yeah.
and so
Landing page.
Yeah, to my landing page, and on my landing page, of course, I have a contact Dan button for more information, and they can input. It's like an email to me, basically. It comes right to my email.
Okay.
So then,
And have you gotten business from posting there?
I've had people tell me they found me on Google.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure if they found me by doing an SEO, putting in something and it got to my thing, but they got to my
Right.
reviews. They got to my reviews and they saw my reviews.
Right. And in their head, they equated finding you with Google.
Uh-huh.
So that's where they established the Dan Chapman connection.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So this is what the interface looks like. Info right here. You want to make sure that's complete. That's just like this is what it looks like when you're filling out the new account when you've set it up. You can put in your hours, service area. You want to put, I put serving customers within 50 miles of the Kirkland office, although I do larger than that technically.
Right.
But, I'm just marketing.
All the
this.
way to California.
Yeah, exactly. So I all the way to California and Denver. So I'm just marketing the Colorado, the Seattle area on this one. And I've got my two categories, mortgage lender, mortgage broker, got the name, Dan Chapman team, so whatever you go off of, and then Fairway Independent Mortgage. And then it tells you when your business is live. You can see right here, it says your business is live on Google. Once it's gone live, you'll know because it'll say that.
Okay.
And so you just fill all this in, got my website, little about me, about what we do and about me. Right there where this little business is right there. And then these are the reviews. You'll want to obviously get some reviews. This is internal reviews where I can look at them and I can actually, if I wanted to comment on a review, like I can, like I comment on this guy's review, said thanks, all that good stuff. So people see that on the internet, so you're kind of put a person behind the website, so to speak,
Yeah.
the review. Messaging, I never really get messaging. People don't message me to Google. They go to my website and message me, or they call me.
They're going to find you,
Yeah.
find your email address, find your
Yeah.
phone number.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
But
they're
it
looking
is an
for.
option
Yeah,
there.
that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Also, Google has like where you can customize, you can make your own website through their template, but I don't do that. I use my own website.
Okay.
And then
But if you didn't have your own website, you could use
you
that
could
as
make
an
one, a
option.
little one, and they
And this
help.
is all free.
It's all free.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. And yeah, if you don't have one or you want another one, you could do it. So Fairway probably wouldn't think it was compliant, so I opted not to do it.
Okay. Got to stay in compliance. Yeah, you're a mortgage
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Yep, gotta toe the
You
line.
blinded me with compliance.
Yeah.
This is insights. So this is where you go and it's analytics on what's people are. Okay, so last month there's been 798 searches for a mortgage lender in Kirkland. Okay.
And that's what you fall under is mortgage lender in Kirkland.
Yeah, mortgage lender, mortgage
Okay.
broker, both.
Okay.
So this is just more insight. Total views, a little over 1,000 in the last month.
Okay.
So you can go month or year, on here, whatever you want to look at. Customer actions tells you how they contacted you. Visit your website. I got 13 people to go to my website in the last month from Google. So I had one call me.
So that's a fair number of touches that are coming back to you.
Yeah.
Because it all works together. Your Yelp,
Yeah.
your Google,
13 people
your
that
email.
may not have found me.
Yeah.
That found me. So, and maybe you end up helping one person, and that's one more person you would have got that you didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
So, direction request, it shows you where people were looking for your address. So people from Seattle, there's people from Seattle that were looking to how to get to where the Kirkland office was. Phone calls, total phone calls, all that stuff. So photo views, you can put photos in here. I recommend putting at least 3 of the interior and exterior of your office. I have
Kind of similar to Yelp.
yes,
I think you have the
exactly,
same-
yeah.
same
So
format,
and
yeah.
I even have a Yelp logo in here. I need to update this a little bit because some
Yeah.
of these are a little outdated, but for the most part, I just have like a Dan Chapman team, logo in there. So this will come up, and this is what it looks like when somebody, the consumer. Now this is your business page. You're in the interior and you're working it, right? This is what it looks like when a consumer finds you on the internet, with the exception of your business on Google. They're going to see all this right here.
Okay.
So if I was to, so there's my website. It comes up right underneath it. There's my Yelp right underneath it, right?
Yep.
So this is all linked to me. But if I was to, see if I can do this with this screen here. If I was to sign out of this and then somebody searches for mortgage lender Kirkland, and they came to my section, this is what it would look like right here. So, and then they could click on reviews and they could see the reviews. So right now I got 27 reviews, so they could do that.
It's another way to find some information out about Dan Chapman.
Yep.
Kind of validify who you are.
Yep.
Get some information. Get some contact information,
Yep.
if needed.
Yep. And so if they were to go mortgage lenders, Kirkland, let's just say, this is what's going to come up when you're not signed into my account. So you're going to see all these mortgage lenders, and it's going to rank them based on whatever rating that person has set on their computer. So if they have 4.5 star and up, it's going to rank them. And then these are all the, so you can see, there's one lender out there that got 45 reviews, so they're coming up pretty high. I'm coming up pretty high too. But they rank them, based on location, where that person's Googling from, and
Okay.
also the, so it says best match. So you can do distance, right here. But that's just any type of ranking you can do. That's what it's going to look like from a consumer standpoint, and then they can just, they can click right here. But also the SEO, the SEO is big. So if you want to post some stuff like that, you're going to get, and then there's mine. So
Give us an
you can see that right
example
there.
of something you would post
Yeah.
on Google My Business.
Okay, so I would go
It's like a normal Facebook post.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I would post something about the market. I'm logged out there. Whatever. Let me just go. I think that's my password. We'll see. Oh, that's not it. So yeah, I would post something like about just like if I'm posting something on Facebook, like about home buying, tips. Like today, I posted something I posted something like this right here. Like, let's go.
Maybe a video you've done with your favorite brokerage, Summer Properties Northwest.
I actually have posted a link to some YouTube videos. You can do that. You can do that.
Yeah.
It won't let you use a Google or you can use a Google shortener, but it won't let you use like a Bitly or anything like that.
One of those little custom shorteners.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll post something like this. Closing in 8 days.
Right.
I'll post something like that.
Yep.
I'll post today. I posted something, and I haven't put it on Google My Business yet, but I need to. How much home can you afford? A bunch of hashtags after it. I'll post stuff like that. So if somebody's typing in something on Google, first-time home buyer program or whatever their home purchase, what are interest rates doing?
How do the hashtags work in Google? Because that is a trending topic type thing. That has to do with trending topics of people that are doing searches. So then your post would pop up.
If they used one of those keywords that I hashtags,
Yep.
and they're, let's say in the Kirkland area, chances are there's a chance they might run into my page
Okay.
because of that.
All right.
So-
So the more hashtags, the better.
Yeah, and I also
Is there a
always-
limit to how many hashtags you can use?
I've never been told that. So
Okay.
I've never seen like I mean I don't know if I've done more than like 20, but I think I've done up to about close to that, and I've never had.
Because Instagram, I think, is like tops out at 25.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a limit or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things also is Google is. You want to download the app because you can go on your phone and download the Google My Business app, and then you have it on your phone, and you can post anything from your phone that way too. So you don't have to.
Okay.
Just like Yelp, you download the Yelp Biz app. You want to download the Google My Business app because you I can be sitting there on the couch at 10 o'clock at night watching TV or whatever, and I can post something on my Google My Business.
Okay, without having to log into your
Yeah, without having to log in.
Okay.
So you want to do that. Make sure Google's going to remind you to post if you're doing the postings. It'll send you an email. Hey, your post is going to expire, and I think it usually takes about 5 or 6 maybe 5 or 6 days total, where it'll let you know that. And I don't know that it totally expires, but it's not fresh content on the internet.
Right.
So it's still out there, but it's just not fresh.
So they are encouraging you to post, have relevant content, make yourself heard is the bottom line.
Yep. So, I think the first thing to do is get the Google My Business account set up. It's real easy to do. Just follow the steps. And then start getting reviews and sending people out. And you can make a Google shortener, but they're talking about going away with the Google shortener. They were talking about, I got an email saying that the Google shortener links are going to be going away. Or they're going to archive them. So I just use a little Bitly link and I send that out to people. Hey, can you give me a review? So, and you can also text them a link to it on your phone if you want.
Right. If they can just hit the link and then go do a review for you.
Yep. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
It is. So like in Yelp, you've got a bunch of paid options. Do you have that same kind of thing here on Google My Business as well?
So Google My Business, you can go in there, and if you want to create an AdWord ad, you can do that. I did that last year. I spent a couple $100 just to test it out, created an AdWord in there. They'll try to get you to do that, and send you an email, hey, create an AdWord, and it's really simple. You just click on AdWords, and you put in whatever you want, and you put in the link to your website. Now, that minimizes the characters you can use, so it'll stop you if the ad's too long, and then you can target it geographically. So you could say, I want it to cover.
How would that benefit you? So you've paid a little bit of money for that Google AdWord.
Yeah. So good question. So the Google, if somebody's paying for it, what's going to happen is they're going to. Let me go back to this right here. Let's go. let's just go Google here, and there, if somebody says, okay, so real estate agent Bellevue, if they do that, and somebody's advertising, there's the ad, so it'll say ad next to it, right? So this person right there is paying for an ad, and when they click on it, you're getting charged.
Okay.
Just like if you were to create a Yelp ad, these are all organic. When it's below that and it doesn't say ad, these are all organic.
Okay. So it's basically a link to advertising.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're paying for AdWords, it's going to say ad, just like on Yelp. Like if you're paying for advertising on Yelp, it's going to say ad next to it.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's just it's
Way of getting your name out there.
It's a way of getting your name out there. It's something I think I might do a little more testing on it to see, because I didn't do a lot. I didn't do a lot of it last year. I spent a few $100.
And did you get any direct results, or were you kind of just starting at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I got a few phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made the phone ring.
Yeah, I got a few
Okay.
phone calls from it.
Yeah.
I can't honestly say that I get a loan from it. I remember doing a loan for a guy in Bellingham last year, and it's possible that came from the ad, but it's possible he just found me too.
Right.
Because he told me he did find me. He did Google me. Because he Googled. He wanted a lender in Seattle, not Bellingham, for some reason. Yeah.
Buying a house in Bellingham.
Actually, it was a refi. But
trusted people in Seattle
He felt
more.
like there was more knowledgeable lenders in Seattle. That's what he told me. So
We'll keep that to ourselves. We don't want to offend anybody up north.
There's some great lenders in Bellingham and agents.
Yeah. And buyers and sellers.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
okay. And a lot of this, and why we do so much of this social media stuff, is that it is an ongoing program. It's kind of like a drip campaign to bring in leads. And
Yeah.
a lot of times you don't know exactly how you got that lead, but the more of this stuff that you do,
yeah.
the more your
Yeah.
phone's going to ring, the more emails you're going to
Yeah.
get, the more exposure you
Yeah,
have.
there are times where somebody will tell me, "Oh, I Googled you." I'm like, "Well, did you see my Google reviews, or did you just where did you land up?" Well, so they'll say, "I saw your Google reviews," or "I saw your Yelp reviews." It's usually one of those two.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we'll have people.
Or both.
We'll have new recruits on the summit and tell us where they got us. And it doesn't make any sense, but we know somewhere in that pathway they found us.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's what.
I don't really care
Yeah.
if they found me. So.
Because that's the end goal.
But
Yeah.
Google, if you have a Yelp, I think you need a Google too, because it's just the reviews are not going to go away. They're going to stay. It's really easy to use. And the thing it has over Yelp is that you can post articles and links to your website.
Yeah, that's a really cool feature that
so-
I think I kind of knew, but until I
Yeah.
saw you
Yeah.
basically put it on here,
Yeah, and
that
if
makes a lot
if I
of
could
sense.
remember my password, I'd log back in. But I
That's
just
okay.
changed it the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah, you can figure that out. Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys saw the screen, and
Yep.
and that's, you just go to Google My Business, sign up. You're gonna have to validate it. If you don't have a Google email, you'll need to create a Google email. To get it, but you don't have to use that email for to post things or to send clients to you. I have my Fairway email under my business profile and my Fairway website. So
it's all kind of set up.
yeah.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for
you're
sharing
welcome.
this. People ask me, how come you guys do so many videos with Dan? And one of the reasons we like to work together is because we have kind of that social media thread. And
Right.
a lot of what you do fits in really well with Summit. We do a lot of video, and video is a great medium to put out there on social media.
Right.
And so we've done quite a few videos with you because we know you've got that presence out there. You're getting business from it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing we do.
Yeah.
So it goes back to that content is king
Yep,
thing.
yep.
And this is one more tool people can use. And the big kicker is, for the most part, it's free.
It is.
Yep.
Yep. It is
It's a
free. You don't
tool.
have to do the paid advertising.
Yep.
I don't do it, and Yelp as well. I don't do it. I just paid for the profile on Yelp, but that's cheap. It's like $50 to $75 a month, but no paid advertising. And Google, everything's free. As far as what I showed you guys today, everything's free. So.
Right. So you might as well use this. You've probably got a Gmail account already.
Yep.
just get your Google My Business going, and it's one more thing you can have out there.
We'll send you a cheat sheet. We'll get you, email you these, or Sean I can email it to Sean.
Yep.
You can send it out. And then if you have any questions, you can contact me.
Go from there. We'll have our contact info at the end of this video.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, thanks so much for sharing this
You got it.
information. Again, I'm Sean Reynolds from Summer Properties Northwest and Reynolds & Klein Appraisal, and Dan Chapman from Fairway Independent Mortgage. We appreciate you watching the video. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button down below. And to check out our other content, we'll have links right here for other videos we've recently shot. Again, thanks for watching.